This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, and it's so good to have you with us on WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain. It's Tuesday, May 10th.
Rise and shine. Now at 6:30, a deadly storm system that spawned several tornadoes in the plains continues, at least that system continues to move east.
Yeah, and like Bill was talking about, the system moves east, but the actual piece of energy that was associated with that stays back toward the west. We don't see that. We still see some possible severe thunderstorms. I'm going to go over the timing coming up.
Lexington Catholic High School is the focus of an NAACP rally this morning.
And this is a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day, and here is why. A violent storm system that produced deadly tornadoes in Oklahoma is heading our way. Again, just the system.
Right.
Hopefully not with that intensity.
And the good news is the storms are not expected to be as severe as they were in the Midwest. Still, there is a chance we could see strong storms today. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is tracking the threat with the First Alert Defender.
Yeah, I think everybody's on guard for today because of what they saw on social media, what you saw on TV yesterday, national news, and also local news from those storms yesterday. That was an outbreak type of situation. That was a setup where they expected large, violent, long-track tornadoes. We do not expect that. That system is still back toward the west, and you can see a piece of energy is actually about to slide through our viewing area here in the next few hours. This, the farther it gets away from that, actually loses that energy, okay? So the closer it is, better likelihood of actually picking up on some severe storms, but it's getting far away from that. This is not our severe weather concern. It's actually still back west of that. So we have plenty of time to actually see those storms rolling through. On and off through the day with thunderstorms, you'll get some breaks here and there, but it's really later on this evening that we see the strong, potentially severe storms roll on through. Now, I'm going to show you the timing on this, and as of right now, the way I feel is that evening and night, but it may be able to change the closer this gets toward us. I'm going to explain that coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Micah.
Here's a story we'll follow throughout the day. Overnight, news broke that the Lexington chapter of the NAACP plans to rally today outside of Lexington Catholic High School.
That rally follows months of race-related issues at the school. WKYT's Mike Byer is there live this morning with a story that has a lot of people talking. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Bill. This case has grabbed the attention of many people, especially from those at the NAACP who plan to rally outside of the school at 9 this morning. Now, leaders from the organization made the announcement about the rally late last night. The rally comes after some race-related issues have occurred inside the walls of the school. In one instance, a 17-year-old student was charged with terroristic threatening and harassment. The charges came after a 14-year-old African-American Lexington Catholic football player said the teen, who was his teammate, sent him racially charged and threatening messages. In a news release from the NAACP, they met twice with the Bishop of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Lexington. The NAACP says those meetings haven't led to any changes in the school's culture. Last week, Lexington Catholic High School leaders said they were working with local and national diversity experts. Now, a spokesperson from the school told us last night the school was unaware about the rally. We have reached out to the school for further comment, but we have not heard back from them at this time. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Kentucky's primary is a week from today, and the presidential campaign trail is again making its way through the Commonwealth.
Hillary Clinton is planning 2 stops in Kentucky today, one of those right here in Lexington. WKYT's Mark Barber is live with our coverage of Campaign 2016.
Good morning, Michelle. These days are the ones that really count because Democratic voters in Kentucky will decide between Senator Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton in just 7 days. Hillary Clinton is making her pitch to Kentucky voters one more time this week, starting with young working parents here at the Family Care Center in Lexington on Red Mile Place. She will be meeting privately with families here at 12:15 this afternoon. One of her big pitches to Kentucky voters has been that she can break down barriers for people who have been passed by. We expect that will continue to be a part of the conversations here today. Clinton will also privately meet with families at the Family Health Center in Louisville today. That second stop will be this afternoon. And while the details have not been released yet, we have learned that former President Bill Clinton will also be returning to Kentucky this week. after his wife campaigned in Ashland last week, underlining her policies for job creation and the coal industry. He stumped for her in Moorhead, Lexington, and Louisville, reinforcing those points. And as the Clintons try to win over all the undecided voters in these final days leading up to Kentucky's primary, there will be at least one event open to the public this week. Hillary Clinton will be speaking at a rally at Slugger Field in Louisville at 6:15 tonight. And again, that will be free and open to the public. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, Mark, thank you. Another fire has been connected to a string of burglaries and arsons in central Kentucky. The latest fire was on Jacks Creek Road in Madison County, just north of Richmond. Police have connected it to recent arsons in Fayette, Jessamine, Scott, and Garrett counties. These crimes have many people who live in rural areas on edge and looking for ways to protect their homes.
I mean, it's crazy that you just can't leave your house unless somebody could just literally just burn your house down.
It is not just homeowners who need to be aware. Fire departments are also on high alert and in some cases are bringing in extra staff. There is a $1,000 reward for information.
This weekend, the names of 6 fallen Kentucky police officers will be added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. Families of all 6 officers are expected to attend the ceremony. A motor squad from Kentucky will escort them to D.C. One officer is asking for your help to make sure the trip is paid for.
These fellows, they escort them everywhere they go. They work hard for the week they're up there, and it's just not right that they have to pay out of their pocket for them doing this work.
Now we have a link to the GoFundMe page on WKYT.com and the WKYT News app. Richmond police officer Daniel Ellis will be among the Kentuckians honored at the memorial this weekend. Ellis was killed in the line of duty last November. 26 Richmond police officers plan to leave for D.C. tomorrow. Berea Police, EKU Police, and the Madison County Sheriff's Office will help cover emergency calls in Richmond until the group returns.
New this morning, police are looking for a bold man who robbed a northern Kentucky pharmacy. Florence police say a man with a gun jumped a counter at Walgreens and gave the pharmacist a note demanding medications. Police say he held the pharmacist at gunpoint as the pharmacist loaded up a backpack with the drugs. The robber then forced the pharmacist to the floor and took an ID and cash from the pharmacist. Investigators say they don't think there was anything criminal about a weekend death at Lake Cumberland. 52-year-old Wendy Augustine's body was recovered from the lake on Sunday. It was near a marina in Russell County. The coroner says her cause of death is accidental drowning. Augustine was from Ohio.
Some businesses in Grant County are expected to be flooded with new customers because of the new Ark Encounter Park. One business owner in Williamstown plans to turn an old church into a wedding chapel. And a couple from the Smoky Mountains who own a music store in Grant County plan to add a general store and a bed and breakfast.
They said this reminds them of Gatlinburg in 1966, so they're anticipating huge growth.
Now, while they think the county will benefit in the long run, both Grant County and Williamstown leaders say they're worried about extra traffic. The nearby I-75 exit at Highway 36 will be overhauled next year. The Ark Encounter Park opens in July.
More troubles for Coach Matthew Mitchell and the UK women's basketball program. 4-star Bullitt County East point guard Lindsay Duvall has reopened her commitment. Duvall's father told the Courier Journal that the recent defections in the UK program is the reason for her decommitment, but she has not eliminated UK as a possible college destination. Duvall is the 3rd recruit to decommit since the end of the season.
So let's check to see how traffic is moving along this morning.
The time right now, 6:38. Let's go to Officer Don with a check on live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. A report of a non-injury collision. This one on Man Award just down from Todd's Road. As one lane blocked, but should be cleared before too long. Let's get a look outside and show you overall Lexington flow this morning as you get ready to head out the door. So far, we're okay inbound Nicholasville Road, even past Man of War. No major issues there. And it looks like on the north side, Newtown Pike, North Broadway, it's a straight shot from the interstate. Drive times, Nicholasville 13 minutes, Georgetown 17, and Paris about 18. Now back to you.
All right, and you can get the latest traffic and weather information anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download that for free in the app or Google Play stores. We have a lot more news coming up for you live this morning on WKYT. Our time right now is 6:39.
Yeah, a woman opens her door to an unexpected guest. You won't want to miss this. More on the alligator that greeted her. after weather.
Something that should not be unexpected, knowing that you are expecting some strong to severe weather later on today. I'm going to go through the timing on that. I'm going to break it down for you to help you out with your day coming up. While we're looking outside early this morning, we already had our first wave roll on through. Now that's on out of here, and that really wasn't all that impressive. Next wave is actually back toward our west in western Kentucky, heading our direction. I'd say it's right over the 65 corridor and also BG Parkway here in about an hour and a half. And then you'll start to see it in about 2 to 4 hours across our western zones and also that 75 corridor. So Lexington anywhere from 10 a.m. to about noontime. Western zones anywhere from 9 a.m. to about 11 a.m. is when you can expect these storms to roll through. This isn't your severe threat. This is just our next wave that's going to be passing on through, and I do not expect it to be that active as it does. However, a couple of rumbles of thunder out of that is a possibility. Let's go through your day. The storm impact with us today. Damaging winds will be our main player. Large hail, yeah, that is a possibility with that large hailstones falling out of the sky. It's not going to be like your tennis ball sized hail like you saw yesterday over in Oklahoma. Flooding, not a major concern. Next few days it will be a concern because you'll have one system after another. Tornadic activity, let me just go ahead and put this down that this is not anything like. It's the same system that's going to be rolling through, but it's not anything like what we saw yesterday in Oklahoma that you saw there on social media and also TV, okay? Nonetheless, we just can't rule out an isolated tornado within those, but it's still a very small threat. Let's talk about your hour-by-hour forecast. Here's 10 a.m. as those showers and thunderstorms roll on through. Then we get off toward the afternoon. The bits and pieces of rain, that's good news for us. Remember, like I talked about earlier, I never really hide anything from you guys, okay? I'm always truthful with you, always honest about this, that there are many uncertainties with these systems, and especially this one for today. Number one, are we going to stay with cloud cover and also rain that will help us out? Number two, if we're not, are we going to see a lot of sunshine? Because sunshine actually increases the threat of severe weather. So that's what you do not want today. You want the rain around, you want the cloud cover around, because that's going to help us out. So those are the big question marks for today with this system. Also timing. Let's talk about timing. 6 p.m. to about 8 p.m. is when you can expect it in the far northwestern zones. I'd say around here in Lexington anywhere from 7 to 10 p.m. And that goes for northwestern zones from Maysville through Lexington Bluegrass region down toward the Cumberland area. That's where you expect these storms at about 7 p.m. to about 10 p.m. Then it rolls southbound anywhere from 10 p.m. to about 1 or 2 a.m. down toward the southeast as it travels on through. There is not one area with a better opportunity to see severe storms. Everybody has the chance of those strong, potentially severe storms as they pass on through. Then tomorrow we'll have bits and pieces of some rain here and there. But it does look like we're going to have one day after another with at least the opportunity to pick up an isolated severe cell. Your 3-day threat tracker, that's tomorrow and Thursday. Those are pretty wet days, so that's when my flooding concerns come into play. Flooding, not so much for today. It's really for the next few days, and then we head towards your Friday. That rain tries to move on out of here during the morning hours, so afternoon actually looks really good on Friday. If you're trying to make plans, trying to get out to whatever it may be, any activities, any events, you'll want to do it Friday afternoon or evening, because that's really the best chance you have to stay dry. Other than that, I mean, you really can't rule out a chance of rain as we go toward the weekend, too, at about 40%. It's an active forecast. A lot going on the next few days, but all eyes obviously focused in on later on this evening. So the severe weather threat.
We'll stay right on top of that and ahead of that, and then maybe plan a thing or two Friday, it sounds like.
Hopefully. We need it, right?
Small window of opportunity. 6:46 is our time this morning.
A South Carolina woman opened her door to an unwelcomed house guest.
You can say that again. At first, she thought it was her yellow lab that was bumping up against the wall, but when she opened the door, this is what she found: an alligator. She started screaming. She called 911. Authorities captured the alligator after about an hour of coaxing it. A snake chaser says he thinks the gator was chased out of the water by an even bigger gator. So
he just wanted something to drink, right?
Exactly. Maybe she should be glad that it was the smaller one that showed up.
Always looking on the bright side, Bill Bryant.
You have to do that, right? Make the best of it here on this Tuesday morning. Good to have you with us on WKYT. Our top stories are on the way in just a moment. We're coming up on 6:47.
Yeah, we'll have more news when we come back.
Coming up, we'll talk with a tech writer who's accused Facebook of political bias. Plus, could a new synthetic skin revolutionize skincare? Our medical expert on what's being called a facelift in a bottle. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
Still to come, an inside look at the 2016 race for the White House. Political experts are in Studio 57 to talk about the Republican rift.
That and more coming up on CBS This Morning, now about 10 minutes away at 7 o'clock here on WKYT. Now, we have a team in place and ready to cover this story. Today, the Lexington chapter of the NAACP is planning to rally outside Lexington Catholic High School.
The rally comes weeks after a 17-year-old student was charged with terroristic threatening and harassment in relation to racially charged messages allegedly sent to a 14-year-old teammate. The NAACP says 2 recent meetings with the bishop of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Lexington have led to 0 changes in the school's culture. Last week, the high school said it's working with national diversity experts. Today's rally is scheduled to begin at 9 o'clock this morning.
Voters in West Virginia and in Nebraska are heading to the polls today to decide who should be their party's presidential nominee. Primaries in both those states. Presumptive GOP nominee Donald Trump heads into today's contests unopposed after Ted Cruz and John Kasich ended their campaigns last week. Democrat Bernie Sanders is poised to win West Virginia's primary, according to the latest polling, but still trails far behind Hillary Clinton in the delegate count going into the convention. Clinton is returning to Kentucky today. She will be holding a private event at the Family Care Center off Red Mile Road in Lexington this afternoon. Clinton will then go to Louisville for a public rally at Louisville's Slugger Field. That's set to begin at 6:15 this evening. And her husband, former President Bill Clinton, is also expected to make Kentucky stops later in the week. Their campaigning comes ahead of Kentucky's primary, which is a week from today.
The state of North Carolina is gearing up for a showdown with the federal government over its controversial bathroom law. The Justice Department sued North Carolina for violating civil rights hours after State Governor Pat McCrory filed his own lawsuit. The law, House Bill 2, limits the use of public restrooms to the gender on a person's birth certificate. A deadly storm system that spawned several tornadoes in the plains continues to move east this morning. Severe weather is now being reported in parts of Arkansas.
And there's also storm damage this morning in Illinois. We're taking a live look at Chicago, a gas station there where the canopy has been toppled by the high winds, as you see. Justin Doherty has the latest from Oklahoma.
That's a violent tornado.
Almost 24 reported tornadoes tore through the Central Plains Monday.
Oh no, it's hitting that farm.
Storm chasers capture at least one of the powerful twisters pummeling this farm in Oklahoma. You can see flashes as the power lines are swallowed up by the violent twister. From above, the damage is undeniable. Homes leveled, vehicles overturned. The tornado left families in the town of Wynnewood devastated. This home behind me, all that remains is the foundation and all the family's possessions reduced to a pile of rubble. Lisa Buckner took cover in the basement of her home.
Ran back to the cellar, locked down, and started praying.
An elderly man who lived in the community was among those who died when the tornado hit. He was on the phone with his cousin at the time.
He said he could see trees are coming up in his yard down through here. And then his friend said a little bit, the phone just went dead.
Another tornado swept through southeast Nebraska, ravaging homes in one rural town. Robin Stoll's home was destroyed, but he survived.
The wind blew him into the tree. It rolled him across the yard, and he hit into the tree and just grabbed a hold of the tree, and the dog ran under the deck.
The severe weather system is forecast to continue moving east today, dumping heavy rain in Ohio and Tennessee. Justin Doherty for CBS News, Wynnewood, Oklahoma.
And another storm system is expected to bring severe weather to parts of Oklahoma and Texas on Wednesday. Here locally, this is a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. We'll be tracking what are believed to be less severe storms that will be rolling through our region. Stay up to the minute on weather in your area by downloading the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app.
New this morning, police are looking for the man who robbed a Lexington gas station while wearing some rather odd clothing. The man had a Mardi Gras mask and pink socks on his hands when police say he robbed the Speedway on Paris Pike just after 2 o'clock this morning. They also say he was covered from head to toe and did not speak at all during the robbery. Instead, police say he pointed a gun at the clerk and made hand gestures to demand money. Many who have tried them are saying what took McDonald's so long to do this? The world's largest fast food chain is testing out garlic fries. The results? People really like them. The fries sold out in a matter of days at restaurants around San Francisco. They're part of the chain's plan to try new things every year. Looks pretty good this morning, right, Bill?
Well, it does, and they're trying some things that are working, apparently, at McDonald's, with their stock being up considerably. Time right now is 6:55, and right now on WKYT.com, it is a first alert severe weather day. We'll be keeping close eye on approaching storms. You can find Micah's forecast, current observations, and any active watches or warnings anytime on our webpage, of course, on our apps as well. Also on WKYT.com, the NAACP planning that rally outside Lexington Catholic High School this morning. It comes after weeks of allegations of harassment at the school that some believe has not been adequately addressed. We're following up yet another arson fire at a home in rural areas. State police believe this fire north of Richmond is likely connected to fires in recently in 4 other central Kentucky counties. WKYT investigates the dramatically increased use of medical transport helicopters here in Kentucky. Miranda Combs looks at the judgment calls that are made quickly and the cost of air ambulance flights. Hillary Clinton is campaigning in Kentucky today. A reminder, next Tuesday's primary, Kentucky.com looks at the 2 Democrats running for Congress, the Reverend Nancy Jo Kemper facing Jeff Young, who has run previous campaigns for Congress and governor. They're making the case they would do a better job than incumbent Republican Andy Barr, who has his own primary. CBS This Morning coming up shortly with your eye-opener and our local updates. Join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest, WKYT.com.
So we have some storms heading our direction. It'll be in our western zones from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. around 75 corridor, right around that 11 a.m. time frame, and then eastern zones you're talking about right around noon to about 2 p.m. However, that's not your severe weather threat. Your severe weather threat, guys, comes later on this evening. Here's the breakdown on the timing: 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. far northwestern zones, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. right across Bluegrass, and then 10 p.m. to right around midnight down toward the southeast.
Okay, we'll be watching all of that and keep everybody ahead of it. Nobody's more up to date than you to start your day. Thanks for being here.
Have a great day.